Have you ever wondered why you can function, but still feel disconnected from yourself? You go to work, you take care of other people, you get through the day. From the outside, your life may even look successful, but inside, something feels shut down. For much of my life, that was me. And I didn't realize I was living in what many people call functional freeze. I wasn't emotionless. In fact, I could cry during a movie. I could deeply feel someone else's pain. What I couldn't seem to feel was my own. And looking back now, I understand why, right? As children, we're naturally emotional, right? We cry when we're hurt. We run when we're afraid. We get angry when something feels unfair. And we reach for comfort when we need connection, right? Our bodies naturally know how to respond. But when those responses aren't safe, our nervous system adapts. Sometimes we disconnect, sometimes we dissociate, and sometimes we freeze. And not because we're broken, but because we're surviving. And for me, healing became allowing my adult self to finally feel what my younger self couldn't safely feel at the time. And that changed everything. And one way I think about this is through the lens of energy, right? Feelings arise in the present moment, but many of our emotional reactions carry the imprint of the past. Emotions are quite literally energy in motion. And I believe every emotional response has a natural movement toward completion. Right? A child wants to cry until they're comforted, to run until they're safe, or to express anger until a boundary is restored, or to reach for connection until they're held. But when survival interrupts those natural responses, that energy doesn't simply disappear. And in my experience, it remains unfinished. And this is what I often mean when I talk about trapped energy or an energy blocked, right? Not something mysterious, an incomplete emotional experience, an emotional response that began but never had the opportunity to finish. And over time, those unfinished experiences can become patterns, right? Patterns in our relationships, patterns in what we fear, and patterns in how we protect ourselves, and patterns in how we see ourselves. And for years, I thought healing meant trying to figure everything out, right? Searching for answers and trying to remember every painful experience. But that wasn't my journey. My deepest healing happened because I stopped running from what life was already showing me. A trigger, a difficult conversation, a feeling that seemed bigger than the moment. And so instead of distracting myself or pushing it away, I stayed. I became curious. And over time, something remarkable happened. The emotional responses that had been waiting for years began to move. And not because I forced them, and not because I went searching for them, but because my nervous system had finally developed enough safety to let them emerge. And sometimes that meant feeling emotions that my younger self couldn't safely feel. Sometimes there were tears. Sometimes there was grief. Not because I was trying to make myself cry, but because my body was finally allowing a little more of the unfinished experience to complete. And healing didn't happen all at once. It happened a little at a time. As I became more grounded, as I learned to regulate my nervous system, as I stopped abandoning myself, I built the capacity to stay with what was arising. In trauma healing, we sometimes call this titration, right? Allowing as much to emerge that your nervous system is ready to meet. We also build resources, right? Grounding, safety, supportive relationships, and practices that help us stay connected to ourselves as healing unfolds. I've found the body to be incredibly wise, right? It doesn't usually ask us to feel everything all at once. It reveals what we're ready to meet. So if emotions begin to surface, if memories arise, or if you notice sensations moving through your body, don't immediately assume something is wrong. Your body may simply be saying, I finally feel safe enough to let you know this is still here. You don't have to fix it, and you don't have to rush to it, and you don't have to force it. Just stay with as much as you can for as long as you can without leaving yourself. Because healing isn't about making something happen. It's about creating enough safety that interrupted energy can continue its natural movement toward completion. And I've come to believe that healing isn't measured by how deeply you can feel. It's measured by how safely you can stay present with what you're feeling. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Until next time.